Wait till you see this new listing, and you have to stay till the end because this property has a feature that you hardly ever see in this price point, and I can't wait to show you. I am standing in front of 4053 Glenbrook Drive in Arlington. Oh my gosh, the location is amazing. And I'm Stephanie Deeds with Point Realty, going to show you all about it. So let's start with the location where we're at. We are not too far off of Cooper. We're not too far away from Bowen. We're right in the middle of South Arlington, where you have easy access to I-20. If you want to go shopping, you're super close to the Parks Mall. This is really a fantastic location because it is super, super convenient to lots of restaurants, shopping, highways, if you have to get here, there, or anywhere. So I'm loving the location. Also, standing out here in the front yard, what do you notice about this house? Because what I notice is this front porch. I am already envisioning either some rocking chairs or some cute Adirondacks or something where I'm going to come sit up on this patio and drink me a little cup of coffee in the mornings. I'm a big fan of this front porch. And we're on a corner lot, and it is a large lot. So we've got a lot of space here, a lot of space inside and out. So let's go inside and check it out. Okay, I am just off of the entryway. Okay, this entryway actually has just enough room for a little table, cute little, key rack or something like that. But as I come in here, this is what traditionally, when this house was built, this would be considered sort of your formal living and formal dining. I actually, one of my favorite things to do with a room that's just like this now is to set up sort of like a little conversation area. I've seen it a lot on some of the different design websites and whatever, where you got four chairs with a little table in the middle. And for those of you who enjoy a glass of wine or a cocktail, you do a little bar cart in the corner, or a coffee bar or something like that. So you have this whole little area set up for like a conversational seating area. This would be a perfect place to do that. Or you could make it a playroom or a pet room or who knows, there's so many, you could make it an office. There's so many different things you could do with it. And you slide right over here, the way that we sort of see these rooms partitioned, or it's two rooms in one, you could certainly use it as one room. You might even be able to put a pool table in here. I don't know. But this light fixture sort of tells you that the design for this space was that it would be a dining room, because this little door right here takes you right into the kitchen. So a lot of people aren't using a dining space these days because you do have an eat-in kitchen in here, which we're going to go check out. But the way that this is utilized is so versatile. You can use it a lot of different ways. So you could certainly partition it into two different spaces, a little conversation pit and a dining table, or one large living area. Maybe you use it as a TV room. Lots of different ways to use it. But what's important about it is it's not the only living space in this house, because we're going to see the den in a minute. So it's just an extra piece of space that you can sort of use to spread out, which is always a good thing. Never too much space in a house. So as we come into the kitchen, big fan again of how much space. Sometimes when you have a galley kitchen, it's like you feel a little bit sort of like this, like you're walking down a tight hallway. I've got lots of room in this kitchen. So even though it's a galley, I still have a lot of room to move around. If you've got multiple people trying to cook together, it's not like you're bumping heinies trying to get around the appliances and stuff. So wall oven, lots of cabinet space. And then of course, like I mentioned, you do have this eat-in kitchen area. So the way that this is laid out is super thoughtful. It's very functional, and it also works great for entertaining because there's just a really good flow. So this era of house, you do have a little bit more wall. You don't have as much of the open floor plan as what's become sort of like the modern desirable thing. What I love about this is the flow is great because you come in off the entry, you come in through the kitchen. This door right here is going to take you into the living room. So it's one big circle. So the flow works. It's still good for entertaining. But guess what? No one can see my dirty dishes from the front door because the open floor plan sort of, you can see a lot more as you walk into an open house, whereas you can sort of hide some things in this property because of the way that it's laid out. And I have actually seen more and more families that are sort of looking for, how do we get a little bit less open, because the partitioning actually does do us some favors in some ways. So right back here is the laundry room. We're going to come back to this area because remember at the beginning of this video, I told you that there was a bonus. We're going to see that bonus at the end, and it's going to be through this door. Okay, so as I come in to this room, this is the den, and we're going to look at the fireplace and all the things. But before we do, I talked about a bonus like 30, not even 30 seconds ago. But here's another bonus because um, in this like traditional, this is an add-on. So in this house, you wouldn't have seen this when it was originally built. This is a little office area, or I mean, gosh, there's 100 different things you could do with this room. It's not huge, but it is an extra space for you to, like I said, office or those ladies who, well, not just ladies, but if you need like a craft room or whatever, like this is a really neat little space to be able to have, again, more I keep using the word space, but like more area to do all the different things that you're doing in your home. So here we are in the den. I love the beams in the ceiling. I love the, wall paneling is one of those things that some people are like, oh, paneling makes the house so dated, but also then shiplap came in and like there's all these different conversations around it. I'm sure that this used to be brown, it used to be wooden, but the way that it was painted really adds some character to the room. So big fan of the paneling around and the color that they chose to paint it. And one of my favorite features also in a home of this age is when I find a brick fireplace that has not yet been touched with paint. It is still natural brick. It still has the natural beauty of the way that it was built. And you've got a lovely mantle here as well. So we're going to go in the backyard, but not quite yet because I want you to see the rest of the house. So let's come down this hallway. And again, remember I told you about the flow. So here's the front door where we came in. This right here is how you get into the first, dining and extra living space. You walk through the kitchen, you come around. So it is a big circle. So for everyday living as well as entertaining, it's very functional for everyday living, but for entertaining, it's got a great flow. So as we come down this hallway, pretty basic for the time period of this house, pretty typical, which is great. You've got on this side, I'm going to have 2 bedrooms and there's a bathroom between them. So I've got bedroom, Jack and Jill bath. And then I've got another bathroom and the master bedroom back here. So primary bedroom, excuse me. So let's walk in here. One thing I have not pointed out yet that you've probably noticed as you've been watching, but I haven't actually mentioned, is the floors. Big fan of the color of these floors. It's it's a pretty wood that's like not too dark, not too light. It's kind of a Goldilocks wooden floor, right? It's just right. Not too dark, not too light. So, and a solid surface throughout the house. There's not a stitch of carpet in this place, which is good for kids, pets, whatever, spills, water, whatever. It's easier to clean up for sure. So good size room, especially considering that this is one of the spare bedrooms. There is probably room for a queen size bed in here, I would say. So a big fan of that. And then I come into this Jack and Jill bathroom where we're, shared by 2 bedrooms. Tub, shower, potty, sink. You have a pretty good amount of space to spread out in here. So it's a shared bathroom, but it's pretty good size, right? It's not like a teeny tiny little closet size bathroom. And again, I come into this bedroom that it shares with. It is, if I had to guess, probably almost identical to the other one in size. It might be just a smidge smaller, but still, you can probably put a queen size bed in here. It's a really good amount of space for a bedroom. So let's go this way. Okay, peek just that way just for a quick second because I'm a big fan, again, this era of home where you do the cabinets and lots of built-ins. I love built-ins. They really, they add character to a house as well as storage. So when you have something like this, there's your linen closet. You even have kind of like the little lid piece that if you want to do laundry or whatever. More storage here with this closet. And then as we come into the primary bedroom, this one has 2 closets. So that's great. And we have a very good size room. Okay, I really like the size of this room because I'm going to be able to do probably a king size bed in here, whether I do it here or on this wall, and I'm going to have room either here or here. However you lay out your furniture, I should have room for a sitting area in here as well. Or if you wanted to put a desk up against a wall. However you're trying to utilize your space best, this room has a lot of space for you. It's a very good size. And then I'm going to come into the master shower. So this is all very recently done. I love the tile. I love, and these are my favorite. As someone who's always trying to figure out where to put stuff, I think that that is great, and the layout of this is really fantastic. And so then I'm also going to come through and have another vanity area mirror, and come right back out to the hallway. Okay. So I mentioned that I wanted to check out the backyard with you, and I do. So follow me because that's where we're going to go next. Um, I mentioned we're on a corner lot, and with the corner lot, that means we have a really spacious lot. We have lots of room to spread out here. And this is another bonus. And it's not the bonus I told you you have to wait until the end for, but it is another bonus in this giant covered patio. Okay. Love a giant covered patio. I mentioned on the front, I'm like, I'm going to sit out there and drink me a cup of coffee and whatever. I would spend so much time under this patio right here. I love how big it is. You got room for, you could do a whole like living set out here if you wanted to do like sort of the wicker couch or whatever, or a dining table. You outdoor kitchen kind of in this area where you can just sort of really enjoy your exterior. So lots of privacy, tall fencing. I joke with clients all the time. I'm like, I promise no one's really doing anything super scandalous in their backyard, but that privacy just matters to us so much, right? So love the privacy of this backyard as well. Okay. Now, let me talk to you about the bonus that we have in this house, because it is something, like I said, that you do not see in this price point very often. So we're going to go back out to the garage. And you're like, the garage? What kind of bonus could you have for me in the garage? We are in a house with spots for 4 covered parking, 3 of which are garage enclosed. Okay, so this garage does have a lot of built-ins. Again, I mentioned the built-ins, so we've got a lot of cabinetry in here. This is a 2-car garage. Okay, follow me out to this driveway. I have parking for like 3 or 4 cars across on this driveway. And I have 2 more garage spaces. Now, to be fair, this is probably like maybe golf cart sized, or like a small compact car would fit in here. I don't know how large of a vehicle you're getting in here, but this is a full size garage right here. So with the 2-car garage that was originally on the house plus this addition, I mean, it's like so much parking and on this corner lot, which again, at this price point is so hard to find. So if you're someone who either has enough people living here that you have that many vehicles, if you're someone who like likes to, you have a what's the word I'm looking for, like a play vehicle that you are fixing up or whatever, or just any other kind of hobby, woodworking or any other kind of thing that maybe you need this type of space for. This, I mean, it's just really cool. So especially in a suburban type of neighborhood, there's not always room to like build a shop kind of thing, but these extra garage spaces give you that option. So I think that the way that this home is laid out, both inside and out, being on the corner lot, nice big yard, 4 almost car garages, I mean, really, this is a cool space. So I love this neighborhood. I love this house. I love the space that it offers. It's pretty fantastic. So if you would like to see more of it, please let us know. We would love to show you the whole thing. Also, please follow us on, or subscribe to our channel, excuse me, South of Cowtown with the Deeds. We put out new videos every week. We talk about tools for buyers, tips for sellers, how to prepare to work in this market, as well as community, how to live in this area, what different things to look for and know is happening, community spotlights, all that good stuff. So follow us and subscribe at South of Cowtown with the Deeds, and we will see you next week.